Yes, opening music to calm the soul, as they say. I certainly hope it did for those viewing in this morning. The piece, of course, the music you were listening to was called The Rose. Um, well, it's been a quick week for me for some reason. It hardly seems any time since I last spoke to you here. But you will find not a lot has changed in my opening notes, simply because we're not getting out of the bit with wars that are now taking place. But I still welcome you with a good morning and a welcome to this, of course, online service. My name is the Reverend John Mitchell, retired minister of the Church of Scotland. Today's opening thought, as I've just mentioned there, could be word for word, exactly as the same as last week, as very little has changed. There is desperation for peace. One person in the midst of ruined buildings said, "We are all tired of this," which sums up the whole picture. If you've been a regular viewer for some time, you'll be aware that I have said many times there is so much more to be gained when we live in peace. But history shows quite the opposite. It had me looking back to my own childhood days when we would sometimes fall out with friends. We wouldn't talk for several days, but the longer we carried on like that, the more isolated you begin to feel. But who was going to give in first? That often led us to falling out yet again. Talk about going round in circles. However, time brought healing, and we realised it better to have friends, so to fall back in again. That's life, so they say. But surely to lay down weapons of war and reap the prize of peace is best for all concerned. Now you might say, well, John, that's easier said than done the way things are. But we often break the heart of God and think nothing of it. But he watches every move, he hears every word that trips off our tongues. And at the end of it all, we forget that we will have to answer one day to God. May our thoughts echo peace today and so reap the blessings to come. So to our first hymn, And Can It Be?